we're not even going to waste too much time, you know what I'm saying? We've got a legend in the making. We've got a legend in the making. She's been in the making. She's legendary status, you know what I'm saying? She's been making it since 1859, you know what I'm saying? That's But you know what it is, man. I mean, to describe this beautiful lady we have in the studio, it's got to take some work, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she's one who, of course, like I said, she's reached legendary status. You know, some will say that she's underrated as an artist. Some people don't really take into consideration how much work she's done, you know? But no matter what you think of her, she is absolutely someone who's made a mark on Canadian hip-hop. I mean, from 1991, a span of 21 years and counting, you know, till now she's maintained that Jamaican funk, while of course proclaiming that she don't want to be your slave. Of course, you know, she's continued to be the one MC who set out against all odds to prove that yes, while hip-hop may be a male-dominated industry, given a chance, a female can positively make inroads and be a force to reckon with. Fresh off her Stylist Hall of Fame induction this past May, we have the one and only Backyal in the building, Michie Mee.
What?
Welcome to Royalty Radio.
Thank you, and it feels so good to finally be here.
Most
Royalty
definitely.
Radio, I don't know, so it feels really nice.
Most definitely. Music-wise, when you first started out, what was your first, your first love in terms of a genre?
My first love was reggae music and soul. A lot of the soul music from the U.S. Was played, country and western was played in the house of our parents. So reggae music, and then coming to Canada and traveling to New York, where my Jamaican family were, there was just a lot of hip hop influence, and hip hop was in. So when hip hop got a hold of me, it just never let go, and I never let go.
What was that song that got a hold of you?
Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's
Delight.
Okay.
Yeah, and a little bit of it went from disco too, because it trickled down from Boogie Oogie Oogie, Dancing Shoes, and it's a weird time, but disco was very eminent in the elder generation. So when hip hop came, I would say Rapper's Delight was the one that made the two scenes and genres come together. But I knew one was for the youth and one was going to be for our parent. And we were trying to prove that this hip hop is actually cooler than disco. That was what we were trying to prove at that time. Now it's like you're trying to prove that there's dubstep, there's other elements of music. But back then it was changing from disco to hip hop.
And what was it about hip hop that just reeled you in?
The lyrics, speaking of the street relevance, speaking about things that were happening in our community on record. I couldn't believe that someone in New York was saying things that, are you even allowed to speak about them? Much less are they going to be, they're attached to music. They're getting through. People in Canada were relating to it. And it was very unique that we would travel out there and get music and come back to Canada that wasn't distributed here yet. And just kind of see how the community reacted to it, just as fresh and new as we did when we heard it. When I heard Rapper's Delight, the effect it had on me and the message. You knew that if I had the cassette, I could go into an area and play that cassette and have that and see the effect the music would have on them. So that was like something to see and something to do, and still try to hustle and sell the cassettes. Cassettes.
Those were the days. Those were definitely most of the days, yo. Now, of course, starting out, Boogie Down Production, you get affiliated with them. They introduced you to the crowd back in '85.
Oh yeah.
What was that first experience like, getting on stage?
Well, it was, I thought it was very natural. You didn't know the difference between the stage, the cypher, the street, because you had to have the energy present at all times. So walking on a stage was much different from standing right here and getting ready to prep, because you had to be present, so to speak, in another climate, because I was coming from Canada. I had that Jamaican aggressive, I'm going to be down, so they let me in through that. But it was very hard telling them I was from Canada and that I could rap. So that was the first thing, and then convincing them that there was even hip hop in Canada. And then Boogie Down Productions, Scotland Rock, may he rest in peace, they came to Canada and they were willing to come and travel. And there was no studios here, so we would go to Hamilton to record hip hop. So it was a journey. It was a very unique scenario, but they opened their arms to me in terms of letting me be vocal. And back then they didn't look at me as a female MC. It was a matter of you're one of us and just rhyme.
That's pretty serious. I mean, to be in that situation, I mean, some people will say, yes, you're a female, so you can't rap. So you have more pressure on yourself to
you're a female, I could write for you. That seems to be the back then. That was just not normal. Yeah, and then it became normal. So it was just different, and I understand it and I get it, and it makes sense to it sometimes. But
do you think it makes sense?
You know what? If the game has reached such levels now where you're trying to get a good song, you know, songs really work. We can freestyle Cypher all we want, but songs really work when it comes to radio and the music business and the business of music. So in doing that, I could see where you can get help in the experience of a songwriter, because in me being a songwriter as well and starting young, writing my own songs, I definitely have enough perspective to try and help a younger writer. Where it gets funny for me is when a younger writer is trying to write for an older writer, and then you know, and trying to influence and trying to make the older rappers be like the younger rappers, knowing that, oh, let them enjoy the way they do their thing, and kind of let it evolve. And that was the difference between that I thought in hip hop. Every other genre was able to have old and new, like rock. There's new rock. There was heavy metal. There was thing. Reggae could have dance hall thing, but hip hop wouldn't have the two. Elder and older would be like, no, there's one lane for hip hop. You need to sound like the now, and it would push people out. So songwriting has definitely changed in that aspect. So it's needed, then it's not needed, depending on which game you're going to play.
Okay. And of course, speaking of songwriting, what was the first song that you wrote?
I'm Not Afraid. I'm Not afraid.
What was, of course, the title said
right.
There, but what was it specifically that you were trying to say you weren't afraid of?
I was trying to battle anybody that wanted to rhyme.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just letting them know I'm not afraid. I battle anybody. I'm not afraid. I was really trying to have the energy of LL Cool J, because he was like, I'm bad. And it was coming from that. I was like, my version was I'll battle anybody. I'm not afraid. So it was from the era of everyone trying to be bad. Yeah.
And what would be your most memorable battle?
Concert Hall, the main one that I was in, and the second one would be La Rotunda, Dufferin and Edmonton, where some people remember that one, and some people don't. But the Concert Hall is the main one that really brought light to me as an MC in Canada on a bigger platform, on a stage where people knew that I was going to go in the studio after this and make records. So the battle at Concert Hall was the main, you know, Canada versus US. That'll do it. The title in itself was like, we have a female from Canada, and people in Toronto were trying to realize who Michie Mee was too at that time. So they were just happy to have a female represent the city. So that was like, you know, the opening for everybody to come in, period.
That's it. Of course. Now, of course, you know, you have a rock group.
Yep.
I got that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You managed to spawn a hit from it as well. Now, when you decided to jump into that, how did that experience improve your artistic outlook?
Oh, it was amazing, because a lot of the people that I grew up with in terms of downtown Toronto was rock guys. They owned rock. I hung out at Planet X, rock record shops. So when I was going to School of Makeup Art, I wanted to be the black girl that added makeup to black girls' faces at Rogers Cable and City TV. I was going to do that with my OSAP and get something else happening in the industry. And there we go, where everyone has lunch. We meet my old band player. And he says, we're doing a new record. We auditioned a bunch of guys, and the guys are not there. Why don't you come down and see what you can do? And managed to knock the fellas out, you know what I mean? And it worked out so I could be the first single. Then I was the second single, and then it came to be the third single. By the time I knew it, we were ready. We did an EP and 2 albums. And we were on Virgin EMI, we were on Attic Universal. We had a good stretch with Warner Chappell Publishing. So we did the route, we did the awards, we did the touring in Europe. It was an amazing journey, and we went on to create The Day After, which got rotation on Much Loud. And you know, we're gonna do new stuff now too. So we have we're gonna do a rock EP. Oh, definitely. Everyone has other jobs, but when it comes to music, it's a very hard bug to lose, as we know, no matter what genre you're in.
Most definitely.
So we're definitely gonna bring them back out. I'm doing a Salt and Pepper on July 27th at the Beer Festival at CA Grounds. So it's going to be nice to get them on their feet.
All right, most definitely. Now, of course, being in the rock side, doing that thing, how do you feel that it, compared to the hip hop? I mean, how do you feel that, the experience is?
It does the job for me. I just think the environment in terms of touring, there's more love in rock and roll. We live in Canada. So every time I've toured or done a record with my rock band, the response has been so much more open for me. You know what I mean? So it was harder to go back and do a hip hop record and wonder what routes are going to be built. But things have changed so much that this is the time now where we're finding out how the hip hop and the rock markets are coming together. And we've been doing something in Canada that's now touched internationally. Like when I see in the Limp Bizkits, when I see a lot of the acts do a lot of stuff, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening here in Toronto for a long time, but we didn't get exploited in that way in order to get a major US deal for others to hear some of our work that was done early '91. So the time has come where everyone's just doing new music, and I do believe that the music we will hear the experience, the technology has risen. So once that meets the experience, you're going to hear a lot of new sounds.
All right, that's true, that's true. And of course, you also dabbled in acting, you know, starring in Into Deep, 99, Hendrix, 2000, The Kink in My Hair. Did you always have the acting bug, or was it just something that you felt was new territory to conquer? I'm
animated. And immature at times, and very mature all the time as a mother of a big boy, of a little man. So in doing that, in relating to kids, over the years, I love being in the acting world. Being able to play by other people's words, and being a songwriter, and the acting field is someone's idea, someone's character, someone's personality, something totally different than what you consumed of being yourself. You get to apply yourself to it. So acting is a journey. I always say when people want to be actors, admire the craft and go out and get some lessons. It's not something as easy as shooting a video. You're gonna get it in front of camera. It's deep art. It's real art. It's real art. So. And not everyone can act all the time. A lot of people are like, I'm an actor, and they go all day trying to be a character. You know what I mean? You can't act all the time. So just get some lessons. I always see when people want to do that transition, get some lessons, respect the art. And it was good doing college radio and doing that little spin with DJ X and doing CKLN for 4 years. The character I was playing was live from college radio. So it was very easy for me to move over and be an actress because I felt like I was in my element. But the 16-hour days, learning scripts, no sleep, just no sleep, being a mother, not seeing my son. There was a lot of things that entailed that were totally different than hip hop. You don't get up, you stay up all night, you do music, everything is self-contained, the music is yours, you know who's doing the beats, you know who's doing everything. In the acting world, you know nobody. You barely get, if you sit in the room with the director and the writers, you're lucky. So it's very blind, it's a whole different art. So just respect the art.
That's true, that's true. Of course, it goes with anything, whether it's music, whether it's acting, everything. Just respect what it is and learn the history for sure. Of course, career-wise, going back, if there's anything that you think you would have done over, is there anything that stands out to you that you would have maybe had a second chance at?
More reggae.
More reggae?
More reggae.
Okay.
More just, there was only one of me. And I wanted to, reggae was taking a life of its own. And then Jamaica Funk, Canadian Style, the actual album was one side was hip hop, one side was reggae. I don't know how many people, they remember Jamaica Funk, Canadian Style, but the album was produced by Mikey Bennett and two friends, Mikey Bennett in Jamaica, and they did the reggae side, Steel and Clevie. I made Bobby Digital. There was so much people on the record that it was really reggae, but hip hop made me who I am. So at the same time, I left the reggae and then did a lot of the rock and roll. So in doing, reggae rock and rap, there was so much elements. I kept the denomination the same, still street, still speaking reality and DJ toasting. But the music changed. So it was different, but I wish I did more reggae, and I believe that's gonna come out. Sure, of course. You still got time on your hands. That's right.
Of course, a lot of people may still feel like you're an underrated artist. Do you feel that, throughout your career you've been given the proper recognition? No, there's always reasons for that. I mean, it happens. It happens. I'm not the only underrated artist. And I take that to comfort myself. and then just keep it moving. I mean, I write every day. I write every day. I live every day, so I'm still writing what I'm living. You never stop, so I don't mind being underrated because the underrated always has less to prove, and it makes it that much easier. You know what I mean? You can't take the experience away. You can take the hype, you can take all that stuff away. There's some things that you just can't take away. And the things that they can't take away is the things that make me happy. So once you have that, you can grow from anything. You can start over, you can grow, you can help others. You can find your niche, you can find where you fit behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Still being creative and getting your juices flowing. And there's so much things to do and help in directing and filming and music production that you can find where you fit in based off the experience. But definitely making records and making music is where it's home for me. Okay. Now, of course, you were recently inducted into the Stylist Hall of Fame. where were you when you first heard your nomination? And what did it mean to you?
It was neat because Click called and Click didn't say anything. He had a casual conversation. Yeah, Mish, you know, yeah, well, you know, you're getting inducted into the stylist hall. Like, get out of here, Click. Because it's DJ orientated, and they just started and it was new, and Maestro had gone, and it doesn't mean that Michie gets it after Maestro gets it. They could have went into the direction, I said this before, as promoter, best promoter inducted into the Hall of Fame. So the fact that they did, part of the struggle being a female artist in Canada is there's never a category for us. It is not only the struggle in Canada, it is the struggle in North America, in Australian hip-hop, overseas hip-hop, overseas every other genre. The female category gets the least attention. So the fact that there was this big awards that I just like going to every year because it was the big urban awards that brought all the genres that I appreciated and all the DJs that I wanted to meet to one room. So that was how I looked at it. So when you get the casual call, you're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was very happy because I was very happy for Maestro in getting his in the year before, and the year before when Ron Nelson got it, I got to induct him. So it's just nice to be next. You know what I mean? That felt good. And then let everyone, all the new people that are out there, really get to see me and kind of put me back in people's eyes and ears again.
Most definitely, most definitely. Now, of course, you're here tonight for the Cypher. What is it about this Cypher that's giving you your second win?
Wow, it's because I want to see the girls shine. I came to host and co-host, like get in where I fit in and let some new tracks play, do some new tracks. And the Cypher, the fact that I could even still be here and be a part of the new energy, I admire a lot of the ladies that are here. I've seen the female Cypher with Miss Lola Buns and Badass Buck and a whole bunch and the fact that it got a lot of views, I think that's tremendous for Canada. Not just Toronto, not just the areas that they rep, for females around the world, period, that are just coming out now and the thing, and it should be recognized from here, right in Canada, right in Toronto. That's new. We can get that many hits once we work together. And I think that is missing in sometimes in other fields, in other parts of North America, maybe the unity is harder to get them together, but I find in Canada it's not that hard to get us together. And that we learned from Honey Jam and good shows like that to get us together for a cause, it can work. So when I seen the all-female and the ladies getting in where they fit in and saying some real stuff and everyone had their own personality, that just of like, when is the next one? I think I started inboxing people and saying, get at me, and adding friends and looking for I was looking for Badass Buck. I was just looking for people. I keep saying her because I was looking to see, because it was refreshing. It was refreshing. So it's nice to be a part of it.
Most definitely, most definitely. Of course, before we wrap it up, man, just promote yourself one more time. Let the people know what's really good.
Yo, Michie Mee, MichieMee.com, Michie Bad Gal Me on the Twitter, Michie Bad Gal TV, me on the Facebook, and I do have a Michie Mee page. And just look out for the new stuff. July 27th at C&E Grounds. I'm going to be out there, ragged death. The day after, the entire band is going to do what they can. I'm going to put things on its feet, and I have a brand new EP in every genre, you name it, that I've touched. I got something coming out.
All right, and of course we got something to debut right here.
Smoke Shop, brand new out of Smoke Shop Rhythm, Bad Gal Bubble. This is from the Uncensored and Undisputed and Deported EP. I got to free up myself and say, and so you might hear a little ray, but it all makes sense. Bad Gal Bubble, brand new premiere, Smoke Shop, big up yourself on Royalty Radio. Awesome.
All right, let's get into it, man. It's time. Let's start it off. Michie Mee, get into it.
Brand new track, My Life, before they start ciphering out on me. Congrats to all the ladies coming out and doing your things. I got your back. I am here. I am an inbox away. But anytime you guys want to talk and just ask the simple questions, you never know. Here we go. Turn up. You see that image is mine. You see I value my time. And while I'm risking it all, I still grind. There's so many of us. So many living life like a chorus. No tourists. Everybody writes, everybody writes. Nobody wrong, nobody got a hit song. You spit it out like it don't matter. You bad, but there's somebody better. It's a rough environment. Vancouver got a cold Toronto, catch it 3 hours like where the time went. Get well, tough love, same climbing. Slow pace, slow timing. Them said it fierce, get them your lit. Fight, hit the way you wind up your body. The man that must admit it's like being itself. It's bad for your health, well it's a danger. Even when it's minor, it's major. And this is how I live my life. And this is where I put my time. I'm just talking to you. Let me explain to you. I'm not playing with you. And this is where I put my time. And this is how I live my life. So let me explain to you. I'm not playing with you. Are you a citizen? A citizen of what? Are you an immigrant? be trying to get out, but I'll be calling at home. Bonjour, Nina Simone, Celine Dion, I'm not alone. Internationally integrated, out of many celebrated. This is no easy task. I run this app like it's last. Give life a facelift. Life is what you make it. If you get a second chance,